Not that they have to be held up, of course. They're perky as the day I was born. And then I go, I have cancer. Don't. I wore so much body paint, I'm surprised I'm alive. I was like Goldfinger. As I was unzipping my pants in the stall thinking, gosh, I wish I was alone. Believe it or not, it's my most asked question. Hey everybody, it's me, Kathy Griffin, and welcome to Kathy Griffin Talk Your Head Off. Have I got a show for you? So much to cover. First of all, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. And watch my free latest stand-up comedy special on YouTube called Kathy Griffin, My Life on the PTSD List. You don't even have to pay for it. Enjoy it. My gift to you. Hope you think it's funny. And watch this show premiere every Tuesday, but watch it whenever you feel like it. Okay, so guess who told me that she watches this show every week? A lady named Melanie, and she's one of the backup singers for a lady named Barry Manilow. I'm kidding. Bear, I'm teasing. Mr. Barry Manilow, legend. We're gonna talk about him. I had a wild weekend in Vegas, and you guys, I had my first show back in 9 months. I did my first show from my tour, which is called New Face, New Tour. Or New Tour, New Face. Even I get it confused. But look it up. It'll come up in the search engine. We're going to get to the show and Barry. We're even going to get to Richard Marx. So stick with me, people. First thing I'm going to talk about is the show I had, and I'll tell you why, because that's the reason I went to Vegas. Now, as you know, I am brutally honest, and I hope you think I'm a good businesswoman, because I pulled a stunt to promote my first show back on my newest tour. Go to kathygriffin.com for tickets, by going on the Sherri Shepherd show in a bikini for my 65th birthday. So first of all, I love Sherri. I've known her since we were on a sitcom together called Suddenly Susan in the late 90s. We worked together for a year every day, Monday through Friday. The first day she came to set, I said, let's not go to the Warner Brothers commissary. Let's go to In-N-Out Burger. Come on, just the two of us. I'll give you the ins and outs. And we did, pun intended, and we've been pals ever since. So she has the daytime show in, the iconic spot held by Wendy Williams. And, I did Wendy's show many, many, many times. So those are big shoes to fill for Wendy, because Wendy has obviously had some difficulties and we're following them. I love Wendy. My dear departed friend, Joan Rivers, loved Wendy. I'm gonna be honest, because people ask me about this whenever I run into like TMZ or something. She certainly seems to be affected by some kind of condition. I'm trying to be gentle here because if Wendy sees this, I don't want her to think I'm talking smack about her. I'm not. I think Wendy is a living legend and an icon, and just balls, you know what I mean? Like, to be a woman and start in the DJ world and be doing like 3 hours a day, and she would just ask the questions everyone was afraid to ask. And there's a very famous clip of Wendy Williams interviewing Whitney Houston that is iconic. And you don't have to pick a team. You can be Team Wendy and Team Whitney, but just listen to a few seconds of that interview. Okay, so Sherri Shepherd has quite a seat to fill, and she did it. She pulled it off. It's her show. She's made it her own. And it was time for me to do press for the new tour, the new special, and this weekly show, Talk Your Head Off, which thank you for watching. So to go out on stage at 65 in a bikini and heels this high by Giuseppe Zanotti, who I'm convinced hated his mother because, God, they're painful, but they look great. I wore so much body paint, you guys, I'm surprised I'm alive. I was like Goldfinger. I don't know if anybody remembers something called the 90s, but we were body paint crazy in the 90s. Like, remember on all the Housewives reunions when Tamara or somebody would be wearing so much like leg tan that she'd be ruining the furniture. I have done that many times. I had to send the show 2 different pictures of me in 2 bikinis. Because first of all, I just thought it would be a funny way to enter the show. But I sent them the little orange reddish one that I wore, but then I sent them another one that was pink and had flowers and was kind of like Taylor Swift, like kind of retro. You know how she wears a lot of retro stuff, and it covered more of my body. And it was just more dainty and feminine, but covered my stomach and had lots of breast coverage. And so the producer of the show wrote back and said, we want the one that covers more of your body, not the other one. So naturally, I only packed the little skimpy one that they said I should not bring. But I told them that my cancer's back, which it's not. And I also told them that I forgot the other bikini here in Malibu, which I did not. Here's the thing, the joke only works if I'm in a skimpy bikini. Like, if I'm 65 and I go out in some sort of bathing suit that's super concealing, then what's funny about that? You gotta see the cellulite, you gotta see the loose skin, the realness. Now, I think the show was afraid I was gonna go out in a thong, so that's why they wanted to okay the actual bikini itself. Hold, please. Paper straw. Obvi. My makeup artist, who when I'm in New York, my makeup is done by Miss Black Trans Universe. Shout out to Bailey Bolden. Thank you. I love everything about you, and I think she makes me look so good and so pretty. So I said, Bailey, I hate to ask this of you, but I have to get buck naked, and you and my assistant have to paint me with this Sally Hansen spray that I've had since the 90s. And Bailey goes, let's go. So first of all, I was at this hotel that I've been staying at in New York for decades, and it's changed names a bunch of times. But when I got there, they didn't have my suite ready. And you know how Miss Griffin gets when her suite isn't ready? I mean, I was ready to just have a fit right there in the lobby. And so instead they go, all we have is the 2-story penthouse. So I got the freaking 2-story penthouse, but I still need a body paint room. So my assistant puts towels all over this one beautiful bathroom. And then I had to strip down. Now, I did my private parts myself. So first of all, just picture me standing up but still spread eagle with Sally Hansen's body spray and just spraying it right on my pussy. Just psh, all over my naughty parts, because I didn't want either one of them to have to go there. So I did like my butt and my butt crack and all, and then I did like under my tits, right? So like when I was holding them up, not that they have to be held up, of course, they're perky as the day I was born. But anyway, I'm trying to make it less traumatizing for them. So then my assistant and my hair and makeup goddess come in, and I'm just holding my nipples kind of like this, and I have the bikini bottoms on at that point. So I said, try not to paint the actual bikini. I'm not trying to look naked. I look ridiculous enough just in a skimpy bikini. And as my mother would say, you got a lot of crust. You got a lot of crust, Kathleen, running out there in that bikini at your age. You're no spring chicken, kid. Isn't that a nice double flip that my mom would do? You're no spring chicken, comma, kid. Well, which is a mom. I just had to put my arms out like this, and my legs separated, and they each had a can, and they just sprayed me down. And the whole time, I know this is gonna come out in a way that's even more inappropriate than that actual moment was, but I said, just not on the face. Okay, I know that sounds like a blowjob joke or a hand job joke, but it was legit because Bailey had just done my face. And now it was, okay, I have half a lung. I don't know if you know that, but I had lung cancer. I don't smoke, I never smoked, but I got lung cancer. And they had to take out half my lung on my left side. And I have a right lung. But I mean, that shit could have killed me. So that's how far I'll go for a laugh for you, America and Globe. I go there and then I get out of the van and I'm actually wearing a house coat that I got from the Joan Rivers auction, which some of you watched me do on this show and then go do live on TikTok and YouTube Live. And I was bidding. Melissa Rivers, my pal, Joan's daughter, had an auction and I got 2 of Joan's house coats because when I'm getting ready, I feel like Joan's with me. And so that's what I wore walking into the Sherri Shepherd show and Crocs, not knowing there were gonna be like 5 paparazzi photographers. It was all about the joke underneath. I had the bikini on underneath and I was ready to have the joke either bomb or do well. I knew it was either gonna be a big hit or just cringe. I get there, show them the bikini and they're like, where's the one you're gonna wear? And then I go, I have cancer. Don't. Don't. We'll play the card. Had to. Don't. You're welcome. It ends up that they all said it was funny. Before I walked out, they took a picture of me. And I was like, oh no, why are you taking a picture of me? It's not even photoshopped. And they go, we're gonna make a cardboard cutout of you in real time that we're gonna present to you at the end of your 10-minute segment. So they did. They made a cardboard cutout of me backstage seconds before I walked out. Sherri gave me the best intro. She goes, so Kathy Griffin, come on out. This is what 65 looks like. I thought, just walk out there like you have the best body in the world. Like you are Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue cover model. Just work it with the confidence of a 25-year-old. I did. I just faked it. And the ladies in the audience, and gays, in the audience were so lovely and cheering, and Sherri was such a doll. So anyway, back to Vegas. Decided to go with my assistant and my friend Mandy and her husband Ricky. So I wanted to charter a jet because I know I'm being an asshole, but I do fly private and I have many reasons. But the bottom line is I worked my whole career so I could, and now I'm at an age where I find it game-changing and incredibly helpful. But my assistant, and this is totally his fault and not at all my fault, said, no, that's crazy. Go Friday on Southwest from Burbank Airport, which is a small airport in the Los Angeles suburban area. And it'll be so much cheaper and we can all fly together and it'll be fun. So we did. Now, I talked before about when I go to airports, there's something about me that engenders crazy behavior from people. I think they feel like they know me, or I look like their cousin, or maybe my red hair or something. And so I tend to have awkward airport encounters. At this time, I had to go to the bathroom very, very badly. And I don't mean to be graphic, but it wasn't the good kind. And I was running to the stall in the Burbank airport. And I was with my friend Mandy, and she was done. And then 4 women wanted their picture taken. As I was like unzipping my pants in the stall thinking, gosh, I wish I was alone. I was just gonna say I wouldn't follow a celebrity into a public restroom, except I remembered I fucking followed Barbara Walters into a public restroom and talked about it on this very YouTube show in an older episode. So I'm full of shit is the bottom line. Doing publicity, getting ready for the tour to start is a whole thing, you guys. I'm gonna talk to you about this for a minute because believe it or not, it's my probably like most asked question ever since I have been doing interviews for decades, which is people are fascinated by what comedians' process is. So I'll just tell you mine. There's a lot of different processes, just like there are a lot of different comics. Mine is very unique, and I don't know why it's like this, but this is how it is. I finished my last tour, My Life on the PTSD List tour, in March. It's now November. Once you do a certain amount of material, either on television or a streamer or a YouTube special, and it can be seen by anyone, you have to then what's called burn that material, if you're good. If you're a hack, Jerry Seinfeld, you will literally, did I say that out loud? I tease because He put me in 2 episodes and I will always owe him. There are comics that will do material that's from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 1 year ago. But I feel like if I've done a certain story on either a special or a tour, then I'm never gonna tell it again. It's called burned, right? So you don't wanna burn material when you don't have to, but you wanna have fresh stuff because I'm trying to get you to come see me again. Of course, I want the first time ticket buyer on New Face, New Tour, my tour, but I also want the person who's come to see me 5 different times over the last 30 years and knows that every time you go see Kathy Griffin, she will have an entire new show. Probably 2 hours. I try to end at 90. I tend to go long. The reason I think material comes so easily to me is because I believe strongly in making funny what is real in your life. So the reason I'm proud of the TV show Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D-List from 20 freaking years ago is that it was a real show. If you liked that show and if it made you laugh, just know it was never scripted. Sure, there would be times when I would put myself into situations that I was pretty sure would not go well or where I wouldn't be welcomed, therefore being on the D-List. But that's my life, as is the diarrhea in the public bathroom story, just proof. And so I have to do a certain amount of living. I call it go out and get living, go out and do some living to get material. So if you've been watching this show, I talked about being on the dating apps. Did I do that to try to legitimately meet a guy that I could be in love with or get married again to or something? Probably not. I mean, the chances of that are pretty slim in my case. But did I do it for material? Absolutely. Did I get some? I don't know yet. I'm too early on in the tour. So that's my process. I either have my everyday life, which is a magnet for crazy, or I put myself in situations where I know that I might get in trouble, and then I'm able to talk about it publicly. And typically what comics do when they're at that stage is they go to clubs that are either in their hometown or they might even fly to New York or LA to try like 7 minutes of some new material or even 15 minutes of new material, and they find that very helpful. I am the only comedian I know of in existence who, for some reason, that has the opposite effect on me, and I'm better off trying out my new material on whoever I'm talking to at the time. Like, I might be having a conversation with my brother John, who's been on this show, but to be honest, if I have a new bit that I'm trying out in my head or I can't get out of my head, I'll start talking to John about the situation in sort of more of a performance way. By the way, that's terrible advice. So if you want to be in stand-up or whatever, do not do what I do. Do the normal route, which is go to your club, try it out in chunks, record it, have a friend record it, see what works and what doesn't, and then keep honing it until it's a show. For some reason, if I go up somewhere for a few minutes, it erodes my confidence. I'm so used to years of performing in theaters, not nightclubs, but theaters where the marquee says an evening with Kathy Griffin. I don't even have an opener. Also, very unusual, horrible advice. Get an opener. You won't have to do as much time as I do. I have a stand-up comedy disorder, and so I end up doing quite a bit of time. So an opener would just eat into my show. And at this stage of the game, I feel like if you're buying a ticket that says an evening with Kathy Griffin, you're a fan. The nerves that I've had leading up to this first show of the New Face, New Tour, in of all places, Las Vegas, on the Strip at Planet Hollywood, a casino everybody knows or has heard of. Everybody's heard of Las Vegas. It was, for me, a big room. It was like 1,200 people or something like that. And, you know, I was really scared. I really thought I have this whole show in my head, or I have a germ of a show, or I have half of a show. It would just change almost minute to my minute in my crazy head that I really was nervous. I didn't have time. Like I didn't have an hour. I didn't have an hour 20. I didn't have 2 hours, the stuff I'm used to. Like I thought, what if it just isn't there this time? Like what if this time it just doesn't come together in my head? Because I am blessed with a muscle memory. I've been doing this so long. As much as I love other things, you know, I love acting and I love other parts of show business, but stand-up is my core. That's my favorite. And to me, there's nothing like it. And the live experience is something that no matter what happens with technology or trends, there's nothing that can replace that feeling of being with a comic in the theater and it feels like it's just the two of you. That's kind of what I'm leading up to. And that's why it's a big freaking deal to me. You know, it's everything to me. So doing the press I have to do, if that means painting my cooch with body paint and trying to make you laugh going out in a bikini, because then maybe you'll go to kathygriffin.com and buy tickets if I'm coming to your town. Then leading up to the first show in the iconic Las Vegas, having a notebook. I still use an old-timey notebook where I just write down like maybe 8 bullet points. You know, I'll just write down like, got kicked out of Paris Hilton's party. You know what I write? Paris's party. And then I know. And that can be like a 5-minute story or it can be a half hour. Depends on how I want to like play with it. I don't know till I'm standing there. I thought what will make the first show more doable for me as I was losing my mind and just becoming overcome with fear in a way that I never have in my career. So I started to think, am I losing it? Is my age actually catching up with me? I have the drive, but this level of fear I never experienced. And yet, I would never cancel on you guys. You know, I have somebody that came from New Zealand. In fact, I'm gonna promote his account on TikTok. I shouldn't, because technically it's my competition. But there's an account on TikTok called @KathyGriffinClips. And it's a gay guy in New Zealand who cuts clips from all my old specials, which he shouldn't do. It's illegal because I own that material. But I'm not gonna go after this gay guy in New Zealand. And he has an account that gets so much more engagement than my own account on TikTok that I'm actually jealous of him. So he wrote to me on TikTok that he was gonna come, and I thought, I'm not gonna cancel a show if that guy's coming from freaking New Zealand to Las Vegas. I'm just incredibly nervous. So I decide, you know, I'm gonna bring my pals with me, and I said, let's make it a real Vegas weekend. So Friday night, my show's on Saturday at Planet Hollywood. Friday night, I go, let's go see Barry Manilow. And we did. Now, you guys, I'm a Vegas person. I love all the pomp and circumstance. You know, I know there's a struggling economy. I get it. I'm not out of touch. I'm just saying, I've personally had many great shows in Vegas and times in Vegas, and I recorded one of my comedy albums, remember albums, you know, in Vegas, and the people watching is unparalleled. So I'm always gonna get material there if nothing else. But I also love the stuff that's just really Vegas-y. Like if you watch this show, I talked about going to see Carrot Top one weekend and David Copperfield. Like I feel like if you're in Vegas, fucking do Vegas. Go see Barry Manilow and the next night go see Kathy Griffin. That's gay and fabulous, and at least he's iconic. One of the two is iconic. First of all, of course, we go back. I don't remember how exactly I met Barry. I may have met him through the late Suzanne Summers. They used to be very tight as pals. Being from Chicago, I can remember almost to the day when Mandy came out, or Could It Be the Magic, and then when Donna Summer covered it. So, I mean, he's a legend and was like a legend from the jump. Also, there's just nobody like him. You know, nobody else looks like Barry Manilow. Nobody sounds like him. Nobody writes songs in that way. And he also wrote the commercial jingles. And You know, he's got such a legendary career, almost out the box, you know? So I love that stuff. I respect that stuff. You know, I'm old-timey like that. Yes, I love the stars of today. Don't get me wrong. I love a good influencer. I love Julia Fox. See how modern I am that I read her book and I feel like I know her now? And then there's the Barry Manilows. I mean, just give it up, motherfuckers. Don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. He's awesome. I have been in situations with him that are so iconic, I was out of my body. One time I was at someone's house for a dinner party, and there were about 12 people. And he came with his now husband, Baron Gare. I love that, Baron Gare. And the hostess asked him if he would play, and the piano was right there, and he freaking played a few songs. And Don Rickles was a guest at this party. Then Don was making fun of Barry and making all kinds of inappropriate jokes. Like, it was so freaking awesome. I love that he would do that at a dinner party. He's gonna hate that I told you this story, because he's gonna be like, what are you doing? Everybody's calling me about now to do that dinner party. Sorry, I made him kind of Barbra Streisand, but he's more like, what are you talking about? He talks down here. He's like from Brooklyn, talks like he moved yesterday. It's funny. It just doesn't go with the rest of it, but that's what makes him I love. One time I was at that Clive Davis pre-Grammy party, because I have a Grammy. Did you know that? I have a Grammy for Best Comedy Album. So I got nominated 6 times, 6 years in a row. So as a nominee, you get to attend certain parties. So this guy, Clive Davis, who's a music mogul, discovered Barry, discovered Billy Joel, Whitney Houston's mentor in many ways, etc. Anyway, he throws this party, and I got to sit at Barry's table one year, and that was heaven, because he went from really being afraid of me to thinking I was like maybe okay, like at a party, but maybe couldn't be trusted on stage, to where he is now, which is, fuck it. If she's gonna say something, she's gonna say something. So I think I got him right where I want him. But I just love you, Barry. Barry's not watching this, but Gary's watching it, his husband, and Gary's reporting back. It's one of those relationships. Like, I have Gary's email, but not Bear's. We're going to Barry Manilow, and I say to Mandy's husband, Ricky, who's obviously, you know, your basic heterosexual guy, I was like, get ready. I mean, Barry's gonna come out in like sparkles. This is not the Eagles concert, which was down the street at the Sphere. I go, this is some Legends shit happening right now. This is like an Elvis moment. Prepare yourself. And he's like, what did I do? I didn't do anything. I like him. So I said, I'm just saying, we're all fluid tonight. So anyway, go to the place where Barry's performing. He has a lifetime residency at the Westlake. He has the old Elvis showroom there. How fucking cool is that? The 4 of us go in, the husband gives us tickets, and we're seated at a booth like casino. Now, it's mostly seats, but there's 1 row of booths. And so who's next to us? My friend Richard Marx and his wife, billionairess Daisy Fuentes. All right, I love Richard Marx. He's so funny, he's so smart, he's a political lefty, and he's not afraid to let his fans know it. He's super funny. He's obviously wildly talented. He's still a touring beast. I love that about him. He's a great looking guy. All right, so did you know he's married to Daisy Fuentes from the MTV VJ days? And let me tell you that my favorite part of the relationship, as much as Marxie has, and he's got this kind of do-re-mi from writing those songs, you know, the publishing money. Wake up, kids, the real money. He's got all this. The wife has more, because she got in early at like Kmart and Walmart and Target and Ross and Marshalls. She's had her own brand, like before branding was a thing, like way before Kim Kardashian or Paris Hilton, like back in the day branding. So she's doing just fine. All right, but I love them as a couple. So they were next to us, and then the show starts. I cannot recommend this show enough. If you're going to Vegas, you've got to go see Barry Manilow at the Westgate. Trust me. I don't care if you don't think you're a fan, you're going to love this show. So first of all, they're starting playing Vegas music. They're playing Viva Las Vegas, so which is kind of ballsy considering it's fucking Elvis, but that's Barry. All right, so the show starts, and the backup dancers come out. He's got 1 guy and 2 women, and they're just incredible. And one of them, Melanie, wrote one of her friends that she got to meet me because I came to the show. And that's so touching, because the Barry's backup, he calls them my friends. They're so talented, it's insane. So go for them alone. How about that? I'm getting you to go no matter what. Okay, so Barry comes out and he sings, and he was fantastic. He sings all the hits, don't worry. All the hits come out full bore. He's still got the voice. You guys, guess how old he is. You're gonna shit. And he's gonna hate me for saying it. He's 82. Does a full show. Doesn't lip sync. Seriously. Okay, the show ends. It's fantastic. Of course, he sings Mandy and Copa. He still wears the Copa jacket. The Copa jacket is still alive. If you know, you know. It's time for us to go say hi. So we go backstage, and I'm saying to my friends, just be cool. Barry's not gonna like a cell phone camera picture because the lighting is terrible. And he's right. There's a reason we don't wanna use your phone, because it looks terrible. There's always one overhead light, like you're a criminal, like an investigation. All right, so anyway, there's a line of people, and a couple of his people come up to me and they take us backstage first. And I go, what about Marcy and the wife? You know, the wife has more money. I just can't say that enough. I don't know why it gives me so much joy. In a world of sexism, I don't know why it's a win. Anyway, we go and I just open one of the doors because they're making this way too long and I'm Kathy Griffin. Yeah, I decide it's a legend off. So I start walking our party in, including Richard Marx, in toward the outdoors, but I didn't know it. So somebody from Team Manilow has to come get me to turn us around because I was walking people to the alley by mistake. I've got a hold of things, don't worry. All right, so then they took us back to the meeting area and it's like a lounge and we met with Barry and I just love the guy. I said, have you eaten? He's very thin. And I said, have a cheeseburger. And he said, he hasn't eaten because he just doesn't think to. He's always thinking about work. And I said, what's wrong with you? Why can't you just go home and count your money? You guys, Barry Manilow is so wealthy, it's sick. He owns like half of Palm Springs and always has. Like he's like one of those land people, right? Like land everywhere. All right, still doing the show, 82 years young. Had to meet people after the show. We'll have to meet people tomorrow night after the show or the night after, the night after. It was so much fun. So he has his professional photographer do the pictures. And I didn't get to talk to him all that much. And the husband and I were talking, and I play a theater called the McCallum in Palm Springs sometimes, and I'm gonna play the Plaza this time, but we were talking about which place I should be playing while Barry is behind me talking to Richard Marx. It was so dreamy. It was so legendary, you guys. All right, first of all, here's a picture of the fearsome foursome. What about that picture? It's a framer. All right, so Manilow was fantastic. You should go. All right, get this shit. So the next night, it's time for my show. And now that I've told you, my whole crazy process is sort of this very unique, it all lives in my head. I don't know till I know, but I will know. I've bombed horribly. I've gotten standing ovations, everything in between. I've had good nights and bad nights and medium nights. And I'm like, I don't even know if I can do it. Like I'm thinking, here's what I decide. I go, I'll just go to a fucking Q&A, which, by the way, I'm liking the idea of more and more. Not a Q&A about anything, but about celebrities specifically, because people like to hear me talk smack about celebrities, and I also enjoy doing it. So I might start just saying at some point, yell out some celebrity names, and if I have any dirt on them, I'll tell you. Just, that's how I think. Or I might not, we'll see. My next show is in Anaheim, and now I can't wait, and I'll tell you why. My nerves almost took me out this time, you guys. I was a wreck the whole show day. I made my two friends come to my room and just listen to me talk to see if I could make them laugh about anything. I tried a couple things out for two of my friends hours before the show. I usually am 100%, not 100%, I'm usually like 85% confident that I know what I'm doing and the audience should feel taken care of and relaxed and like they're watching their best girlfriend be inappropriate for an hour and a half. And that's what I wanna do, but I myself inside dying because I don't know if I have it. So you guys, it fucking worked. It happened. I went out on stage and Doc Martens hit the stage floor, and that's when this lightning bolt goes through me. And I had a show, and the audience laughed, and they were like really laughing, and they were along the ride with me, and they knew the stuff was new because they had never seen it anywhere. And I even brought my phone out and set the timer. I was so afraid I would accidentally do 2 hours, which is too long for Vegas. And so I set it for an hour and 15 minutes, and it went off. And the show was going really well, and I still hadn't done about a third of my notes. And I did 5 more minutes, and I just thought, Kathy, for once, go while the getting's good. And I didn't have a perfect closer. Like, I ended on like a mezza laugh, but not like a big giant laugh, because I still am working on my closer. I still don't know quite how to land the ship. And I'm gonna learn as I do it. And I still wanna be improvisational and change the show up every city. Like when I go to Anaheim, I wanna do my research and development about the city of Anaheim or what's happened there. When I go to Charlotte, I wanna learn about Charlotte, see if I can call anybody out and talk shit about somebody in Charlotte. So I'm like excited about that part now. And after the show, I didn't get a standing ovation, but they were very nice. I didn't have a great closer, but they were very nice, incredibly nice. And I cannot tell you the gratitude I have and the relief. And I'm just so stoked to be on this tour. So please go to kathygriffin.com and get tickets and come see me. I'm coming to a lot of towns that I have a lot of nerve coming to with my lefty politics. I didn't talk about politics that much, but I can talk about them as much as you want. Anyway, I'm going to Richmond. I'm going to Charlotte. I'm going to the real America, and you better be ready for me because I'm not holding back. I've walked out on television in a bikini at my age. You think I care about a little controversy in your town? I've been investigated by the feds. Bring the heat. Anyway, it's called New Face, New Tour. Please come get tickets to see me. So I've already gone long, so I'm gonna tease this for another episode or maybe even the tour. But on the flight home on Southwest, because I'm among the people now, apparently, the actor Eric Roberts was on my flight. All right, I'm not even gonna fucking tell you that story. In fact, I'm gonna make you come see it on tour. So how about that for a tease? Because I haven't worked it out in my head yet. But when I do, it's gonna kill. And Eric Roberts, if you're out there, that was some scary shit. You're gonna get arrested in an airport if you do that again. This has been quite an episode. You guys have been so indulgent. Thank you for watching. Whenever I meet one of you guys in real life and I hear that you watch the show, I'm so touched. So like and subscribe, it means the world. And please tell your friends to watch my latest special, Kathy Griffin, My Life on the PTSD List, here on YouTube. It's free, it's fun, it's all for you. Come see me on tour, you know where to go. I love you guys. I'll see you next Tuesday.